How about now? Okay, buenas noches. I am New Yorican from New York, in case I didn't share that with you. So, saludos, buenas noches. Beautiful to be here with you again after a day of practice, first day of practice. Okay. So, we're going to explore further the territory of the body, the first foundation of mindfulness. And I'm going to ask you right now to take a pause. Check in. How's your body doing? So that pause is a nice time to just do the internal check. How's your mind? How's your heart? How's your attitude? Just checking in to see. For me, I feel a little bit of flutters and some joy arising. So as I was preparing for this talk, I got very distracted because the sunset was just gorgeous. I mean, oh my God, it was just... And I said, well, this is the practice. To be in the moment, to be truly alive in the moment is the practice. So while I was in my room, I was totally embodied, right? Totally embodied means I feel the presence of my body here on this cushion, on the chair. While my eyes, the eye door, as Bart was talking about the eyes as being a sense organ, my eyes were with the sunset. And I was just felt so much, and I felt relaxed, my body felt relaxed. I was just bathing in the beauty of nature, the miracle of being on this planet, on this earth, was just so profound. It's such a blessing. And when we could come into presence and touch the moment, we could connect with the beauty around us. Yes, the world, there's lots of messy stuff going on, but there's so much beauty going on too that we miss because we're not present. And this is the practice. This is the path that we're on. The path of liberation starts here in this moment, right here, in this body, right now. So yes, the mind could take us into the past, the mind could take us into the future, the mind could take us into me, my, and I, into you, into all kind of emotions. The mind could just take us and whirl us around everywhere. But the body is present, always present. And I found in my practice, it's just a refuge. For me, the resting in the body is a refuge. So powerful, because it just brings me into presence. It lets my mind, gives my mind a place to rest. And I found in my practice, as I kept on exploring this mind-body-heart relationship, which is the beauty of this practice, I kept on exploring with curiosity, to see what's going on. Because usually out in the world, we're looking out. We're getting involved and enmeshed in the outside objects. Here, you're getting a chance to go inside. What's the journey inside like? And that's the beauty of this practice. It's like a whole new world of exploration. So there is a body, as Bart kept on reminding us with the meditation. And we're not used to that, right? Because we're usually spinning up here on this top of the mind constantly has us spinning. So we're just up here in the head. And this whole universe of the body, we don't know. We don't know about it. So part of this exploration of there is a body, and cultivating the meditation of mindfulness of the body is very powerful. It's a very powerful exploration. Very rich. And for me, it just keeps on unfolding. Just keeps on unfolding. Just the connections between the mind and the body and the heart is just endless, you know. One of the beautiful Buddha images that I have in my mind is the Buddha touching the earth. When he sat under the tree in his night of enlightenment, all the armies of Mara, which is the armies of greed, hatred, and delusion, and all these different mind states that we're going through right in this retreat, they were just bombarding him. And he touched the earth, and he said, no, I have a right to be here, and I see you. You can't fool me anymore. So the seeing is so powerful. And plus, touching the earth for me also is, it's not about, he didn't say, I see you, Mara, and transcend and go into heaven. No, he touched the earth. Through the earth and through the suffering is where the liberation is. And that image is so powerful for me. Because it wasn't like he was saying, no, I'm going to transcend into the heavenly realms and just leave this world of suffering. No, he said, right down into this earth. The earth is my witness. And it's so profound for me, because it's like through the earth is our liberation. Through this body, because this body is earth. This body is composed of earth. We are earth, and the body is earth. So through this body is a liberation. So powerful. You know, so powerful. Through this phantom long body is how we liberate ourselves on this path that we're on. And that image for me is just so rich and powerful. I love it. I think of it often when I get doubtful or, my practice seems a little bit whatever, stuck. Images like that just kind of like, just send something into my heart, into my spirit, and I'm like, oh, I'm back again. Yeah, I'm present. You know, I know where I am. I know where I'm sitting. I am here. I am now. I am home. I am aware. I'm awake. So powerful. So the body is interesting, right? Because the body, we have a lot of issues with the body. There's a lot of stuff around the body. In this particular culture that we're in, we've had a lot of conditioning around the body, right? The church says the body's a sin. Science says the body is a machine. Advertising says the body is business, money. We have a lot of issues. I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I don't like my body should look like this. I mean, all kind of stuff around the body. I'm too old, I'm too gray, I'm too saggy, this goes on and on and on. And we have this conditioning around the body. And it's interesting to really, once we're awake, we can start to see the way the media, the magazines, even our cultural families, how this conditioning around the body has happened. And what kind of images are portrayed as the perfect body, and how we'll never live up to these images that are portrayed to us, right? So it's all a setup for suffering. It really is, because it could never be like that, So this practice brings us to the reality of what's here. One is that the Buddha, through the first foundation, was a lot about just seeing the truth that there's no one here. There's no I, me, and my in this body. I don't own this body, right? Like, okay, I'm now, 68 years old. I can't tell my body stop aging. I can't tell my body, I have a shoulder that's killing me. I can't tell this shoulder stop hurting. There's a certain amount I have to just admit that The body, I don't own it. And that's a profound understanding, to understand that we don't own this body. We're not in this body. There's no I, me, and my in here. It's just born out of conditions, and it's just born from nature. And one day, we're going to have to leave it, right? So the first foundation deals a lot with detachment of the body. Just knowing the body, the organs, as the organs, the skin as the skin, the flesh as the flesh. There's no ownership here, and one day we'll have to leave it. The first foundation of mindfulness also deals with death. One day death is going to come. We know not when. So this life is very precious. The time we have here on this earth is very precious, because we don't know when that moment is going to come. But yet we are so much more than this body. Thich Nhat Hanh, who recently passed, I am not limited by this body. I am life without boundaries. I have never been born, and I have never died. I am not limited by this body. I am life without boundaries. I have never been born, and I have never died. Pointing to that boundless awareness that we are all made of. I did a recent home retreat for about 2 months, and one of the little sayings that was in my mind that helped me remind me of my essential essence, my nature, is I am not a drop in the ocean. I am an ocean in the drop. And I know Bart likes the ocean, so I said that. I am not a drop in the ocean. I am an ocean in the drop. This little body here is the drop out of the ocean of infinite, boundless awareness, boundless love. So it's nice to remember these things, because we get so wrapped up in the I, me, and mine stories. And a lot of times when I do look out into the sunset, it helps my mind expand. I get out of the shell of me, and I become much greater, right? Space, this universe. We're a part of this spectacular, glorious thing that we're in. This great mystery. We touch into that. So powerful. Yeah. So powerful. And sometimes I could just see the sunset, and then I could see the planets, right? So you have Mars and Mercury, I believe, the Earth, Venus. Woo! The great mystery, And this practice allows us to come into presence and touch the beauty and the mystery. We're so wrapped up into putting little boxes around our lives, making everything into a nice little box, and everything is nice and neat and orderly. And yes, that gives us some sense of stability and safety, but it's deadening. It doesn't allow you to explore the great mystery around us, in us. So this practice is about, as Thich Nhat Hanh says, no boundaries, life without boundaries. What does that look like? What does that look like? So this is the practice that we're in. So this body practice is so precious. I remember I was on a 3-month retreat here. And, 3 months you have a lot of time to practice, to just contemplate your life, and, things that you never had time for, all of a sudden now you could see things clearer. And I remember just lying in the bed one day, and I just had my hands like this on my heart, and I was just thanking my body. I was like, wow, 65 years old. At that time I was 65. I said, you have been with me 65 years. I am so grateful for you. You know, it was just so much gratitude I have for this body to take me through this life. You know, yes, I have pains and aches and I get sick and everything else that the human body is going to go through, but I could walk, I could talk, I could, eat. Such a miracle, and I just remember just being so grateful, for this body. Do we ever take time to really thank this body, So beautiful to do that, to feel the preciousness of that, of this great machine, right? The heart pumps, we don't have to do anything. The lungs just breathe, there's no one that's doing it. It's just nature evolving moment by moment. If we think about this body, so miraculous. We go to walk, and nobody's saying walk, walk, walk. No, the body just walks. You just put the intention, and then you're walking. So it's just sometimes we take things so for granted, because we're so locked up in our boxes that we don't feel into the mystery of life, the textures, the sensations in the body. So the body allows us to increase our sensitivity to what's happening in our surroundings. The temple of the body. And when I was just thanking my body, if I experienced that temple of the body, And I ask for forgiveness because sometimes I'm there, I eat junk food or whatever. So I ask for forgiveness too, because sometimes I've been careless with this body. Right? I get lazy, I don't go for my walks, I don't stretch or exercise. So I ask for forgiveness too. But it's just this relationship, again, the relationship that we have with whatever's in our field. So the body is here. What's our relationship to the body? And it's not about the stories, and it's not about all the fixations. It's nothing about that. It's just about there is a body. That's it. No stories, no judgments, nothing. And that's the practice. We could just come back to the mindfulness. Right now, are you listening and are you mindful of the body? Just check in. Check in your experience right now. Can you listen and can you be aware of your body? That's the practice. So for me, I came in through the Goenka retreats, and I got a very good training in body awareness because he does, I don't know, I think it's 4 days or something, because I haven't been to one of his retreats in a while, but he does the body scanning, and that really helped me to get in touch with my body. So that's something you could explore, body scanning. You go slow through the body, and we're basically feeling what's happening in this body, what kind of sensations. There may be heat, coolness, pressure, tingling, burning, stretching. There's all kind of things happening within this phantom long body. So it's part of the practice while you're here too is you can start to explore, what are the different sensations when you're walking? What are the different sensations that are happening in the body as you touch the earth with your feet? Can you feel that connection with the feet and the earth? Can you feel the movement of the body as it moves? So this is bringing your awareness down into the body, into what's happening in the body. Bringing mindfulness of the body. Again, it's helping the mind to kind of settle and rest into this body awareness. And I find it very grounding. So it's a good practice to keep on coming back, and then the momentum of the continuity is what helps the practice come along. So use your time wisely here, because each moment of mindfulness just keeps on collecting, and it keeps on getting more continuity. And then it may get off, and that's okay, and then you come back in. Mindfulness, I'm sitting right here, I'm listening, I'm present. What's going on? Am I bored? Am I interested? Am I sleepy? Get to know what's going on so that you're not in a fog anymore. Mindfulness is about being awake. What's going on? And not being judgmental. It's just what it is. It's nature unfolding. It's not about me, my personal. This is just mind doing its thing. So we're just getting to know this mind and this body and heart. Another way to use the body mindfulness practice is with emotions. So this practice is getting to know about what kind of feelings are going through my mind and my body and my spirit, my heart. And how does that relate to my body? So if I'm having a moment of anger, what does that feel like in my body? Okay, so instead of proliferating on a story about the anger that just keeps on building the fire of anger, we're going to come down into the body. Where do I feel the anger? You may feel it in the chest. Sometimes for me it feels like a flame, like a match going off. What does it feel like for you when you get angry, or when you get sad, or when you get joyful? But they all have a body component. So it's an exploration. Part of the practice is just exploring. What is this I'm going through right now? Is this doubt? Okay, what does doubt feel like? Doubt, I'm no good. This practice is no good for me. I'm not made for this practice. I should go do another practice outside. This was never for me. I don't know why I'm here. Doubt. Doubt's there. Just saying that one little word and identifying what's going on in the mind and heart is so powerful. Doubt. This is doubt. How does doubt feel like in the body? It may be cloudy, maybe a little murky, but you're getting a real feeling, a bodily feeling for it. And then you can stay with the sensation in the body. Instead of proliferating with the mind and the story, we're down in the body. And letting that, the body will take care of it. The body will take care of it. And that's the exploration that we're doing with this practice. Very powerful. So we're softening the emotions through the body. Instead of throwing fuel on the emotion and the feeling with the stories in the mind, we're coming down here. We're softening with the heart, with compassion, with holding it with kindness, and seeing what's happening. What are you trying to tell me? What can I learn from this experience? All of this is here to help us grow on this path if we listen. The path is a lot about deep listening into what's happening in our experience. So part of in the retreat is taking care of your body, right? So we recommend, yes, the movement is real important, because the more relaxed your body is, the more your mind relaxes. So there's a real connection between the two. The more I can be easeful in my body, my mind is can have an easeful place to reside. So any kind of body movement, whether it's stretching, yoga, tai chi, all of that helps to release tensions in the body. And as we release tensions in the body, the mind can get more spacious and relax. There's a definite correlation between that. And you start to investigate that in your experience and see for yourself. All of this is seeing for yourself. That's the other thing I love about Buddha's teaching. It was always about, no, I'll say this, but you have to practice it. And it has to become your experience and your practice. It's not about just believing something and memorizing it like we did in school. It's nothing about that. This is really about taking the teachings and internalizing them, embodying them, seeing how they work for you, because everybody's different. Even though we all have this same mind with many similar tendencies, we all have different flavors. So we all have to get to know through our own experience and make the path our own path. And that's what we do. We get all these teachings and then we internalize them, we let them soak in, and we see what works for us, what resonates for us. And then those places that resonate, then that's what feeds you. Because if it doesn't resonate, then you're just gonna do it and throw it away as soon as you leave. So you want to find those places of practice that really soak in and resonate. And those are the places that feed you. The beautiful metta that Devin did today is that same principle of taking in, suffusing yourself. As simple as the breath. Buddha would spend 3-month retreat just on breath and body. That was his meditation. Just the beauty of being alive and being able to breathe. Do we really appreciate the breath? So even as subtle as this breath can be such enriching experience, how it affects our body, how it suffuses. It can suffuse the whole body with the breath. Part of the jhana practices, which is when the mind and the heart and the body come together, they unify. And the practice deepens into deeper states of concentration. I don't like to really say concentration, but samadhi. We'll use the word samadhi, which is a similar word. So just to hear the way the Buddha describes some of these samadhi states, so beautiful. This is actually a book by Thich Nhat Hanh, Transformation and Healing. I've been carrying this book around, I guess, since he died. I feel very close to certain of his teachings. So I'll just read you a little bit from the description of these deeper states of meditation. Like a spring within a mountain, whose clear, pure water flows out and down all sides of the mountain and bubbles up in places where water has not previously entered, saturating the entire mountain. In the same way, joy born from concentration permeates the whole of the practitioner's body. It is present everywhere. So this clear mountain water just pervading the body. Again, coming into the body. This is what we can experience through this practice. Very powerful and beautiful. So through the body, we have lots of bliss and we can get lots of pain. Right now, my shoulder is hurting me. I have arthritis in the shoulder. I have an aging body. What can I do? I can move it. I can do exercise. I can take care of it. But the reality is I have to deal with reality as it is. I am 68 and I have an aging body. That's it. But yet I can experience the rest of my body that's not painful. Right? So I don't have to dwell here. I have the rest here that I can dwell. So finding places in the body where we feel safe, where we can breathe into And actually, I can breathe into the shoulder. The breath can bring healing energy into the body. So you can play with that as part of the practice. Using the breath to massage the emotions that come in, like fear. We can send the breath around. That, the breath of kindness, of loving awareness, and just bathe the fear or whatever arises. So we can learn. This is a training too. It's a cultivation and a training. And the possibilities are without boundaries. Without boundaries, limitless. It's only us that puts limits on the mind and the heart. So the practice is about the boundless and touching those places with the breath and the body. So I just gave you a little flavor about this exploration. And again, just, making it your own. Seeing with it. Investigation is one of the factors for enlightenment is investigation. Such an important factor for enlightenment. He put that there. Mindfulness, that we're here doing, investigation, energy, Devin's going to be talking about. These are factors that elevate our hearts, our spirits, and help us on the road to liberation. And investigation is really right there, and joy is right after that. So how do we investigate things, get curious, a beginner's mind, so we're not coming with our same attitudes, oh, I can't do this, and this is not for me, and what's the point? Letting go of all the limitations and being curious. You're here, use the time wisely, and make the practice your own. So I have arrived in the here and now. I am home. Let's sit for a few moments and just let all the words settle down, coming back into the body. Feeling the breath moving through the body. The first foundation of mindfulness. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for listening. To learn how you can support the teachers and Dharma Seed, please visit dharmaseed.org/donate.